G'day guys and welcome to another track guide thanks to SimRigs. This week for round 9 of the GT3 Fixed series, we're at the Brands Hatch circuit and on the Grand Prix layout. Really cool track, obviously quite small, only 9 corners, 3.7 Ks, but you cram a lot into this place. Some really fast corners as well as some slow corners. A lot of sort of like bowl sections as well, carrying a lot of speed through some of these areas. Also, quite a few of the braking zones have grass right on the outside, so they can be a little bit tricky, you know, drop those right rears in the grass at any point. You're going to loop the car coming into the braking zone, so it is quite tricky. Some really fast unsighted corners as well coming towards the back end of the circuit. So yeah, really fun little track. So we'll go out for a fast lap, and then we'll review that fast lap afterwards, talk about some of the turn-in points for some of the late apex corners, and then braking as well. But yeah, let's go out there, let's get in the car and let's do some fast laps. Alright guys, so we've gone out, we've done our fast lap. As usual, we'll break it down now, corner by corner, talk about some braking points, some turning in points, where we should hit some late apexes, and just some points on the track that we should also be a little bit mindful of. Tricky braking areas, dirt or grass on the edge of the track can really catch us out. So let's start the lap, heading into turn 1, Paddock Hill bend. We're going to be looking for the 100 board, want to be safe. Braking pretty much just at, or really just a smidgen after that 100 board. Yeah, coasting on the brakes, little bit of trail brake until we hit that apex, and then we're going to slowly start picking that throttle up. And don't be afraid to use all that green runoff on the left hand side. Not going to get an off track for that, just keep it off the grass, keep it off the dirt. Now coming into turn 2, you can see the 50-meter board up on the left, and also the edge of the sand trap on the left as well. So braking point that seems to be working for me is right in the middle of that 50-meter board and the edge of the sand trap on the left hand side. And we're not really like late apexing or double apexing turn 2. I sort of just aim for the curb and use that curb around the corner as well. So no real need to late apex turn 2. Hard on the brakes, angle the car in towards the corner, and careful with our throttle pickup as well, and also the exit of 2 as well. There's little parts of the track that, you know, the curbs run out, the ripple strip runs out, and you find yourself trying to get some acceleration or traction out of the corner, wheels on the grass, it's going to spit you and loop you. And that is can definitely be the case for turn 3. So braking at turn 3, braking pretty much at the 50-meter board, but almost diagonaling the car across to the little bit of concrete runoff on the right-hand side to use as basically my turn-in point. Once I've hit that, I know I can turn the car in. Also using that runoff on the exit of turn 3 to your benefit. As long as you're off the curb before it rejoins the road, all that sort of green AstroTurf runoff area on the right, not going to get an off track for that. So as long as you pull the car back now, you'll be right. So coming into turn 4, braking probably 15 metres after the 15 metre board, and definitely late apexing for turn 4 or Surtees corner. We need to get a late apex to get good drive up the hill for the long run down into Hawthorns or turn 5. So braking again at the 50 metre mark here. A little bit of brake, off the brake as quick as possible, carry the speed through. Now 6, really tricky corner. Don't want to take too little of the curb on the inside, but you also don't want to take too much, risk yourself an off track. But if you don't take enough of it, all the runoff that they give you on the left hand side of the track is still not going to be enough to keep the car on the track. So braking just before the 50 metre board, turning the car in, using all that runoff. Now running down to turn 7. So at the 50 metre board just there, as you can see on the right hand side of the track, just before the 50 metre board is sort of that green board on the edge of the Arnco. That's my braking point for turn 7. I found just the 50 metre board was just a bit too late and kept running off on the left hand side on the exit of 7. So a little bit of braking, down 1 gear. Now here's one of the trickiest braking zones on the circuit, I think. It's not a massive stopping point. You try and carry quite a bit of corner speed out of 8, but as you're moving the car right across the track to start your braking for turn 8, it's very easy to drop a right rear wheel on the grass when you're braking. So you really be mindful of that. As soon as you drop that right rear wheel on the grass there and you have any sort of brake pressure, the car will just rotate on you and end off in that white and red tyre barrier right ahead of us. So almost using it as a bit of a berm, down 1 gear, using that curb, hard driving out of turn 8. The last corner on the track, Clark curve, turn number 9, braking at the 50 metre board, just a little bit of brake, down 1 gear, and then committing to it, flat on the throttle, driving out of the corner, moving ourselves to the right hand side of the track for the shortest run to the line. On the brakes, off them pretty quickly, 3rd gear, flat to the floor, right hand side of the track, and that's the shortest run to the line to end the lap. So the setup we've used this week, guys, is the iRACING Sprint high downforce set. It's going to be the 14th of May is the in-sim time and at 1:15 p.m. So the temperatures I was getting were around 39 degrees track temp and a 21 degree ambient temperature, and it seemed to have quite a good amount of grip. Just play with your brake bias. I struggled a little bit at the start with a bit of push on the brakes and sort of immediately going to the ABS. So I sort of played around with it and wound it back a little bit, and that seemed to help a little bit. But look, guys, appreciate you jumping on board as usual. Next week we head to Interlagos for round 10. I look forward to seeing you guys there.